Alright, if you would start by stating your name, please.
My name is Brenda Clay.
Miss Brenda, could you tell me what is the name of the disease that you have been diagnosed with?
I have progressive MS.
What is MS?
MS is a neurological disease. It is a degenerative disease which there is no cure. I've had MS since 2003, and now it's in its progressive state. And there's no cure, and every day it's just a fight and a struggle, and it's like you're in a constant war and battle with your body, because what happens with MS, it destroys your brain, your myelin, and your nervous system. And so the connections are all wired up because the coating around your nerves have been destroyed. And so the signals can't convey to your body what you need to do. And so I try to explain to people that not only is it a physical disease, your brain is ill. There are multiple lesions in your brain that have destroyed myelin and in your spinal cord and your central nervous system.
Stand still, beauty and all she is. I will be brave. I will not let anything take away what's standing in front of me. Every breath, every hour has come to this. One step closer. I have died every day waiting for you. Darling, don't be afraid. I have loved you for 1,000 years. I love you for 1,000 more. And all along I believed I would find you. Time has brought your heart to me. I have loved you for 1,000 years. I love you for 1,000 more.
You said you were diagnosed in 2003.
Yes.
Could you walk us through what even made you go to the doctor for?
Well, what happened, and it was very embarrassing. I was at work one day, and I had gone out to lunch with a lady that had asked me to go to lunch. I was like, sure, we can go to lunch. And it had been raining, and when we got back, she parked on the side, and I got out of the car and stepped onto the grass, and my body just gave way, and I fell face forward in the grass. And when I got up, I was just covered in mud. And so I went inside and I told my boss what happened, and he immediately said, well, I need to send you for a drug test. And I was so embarrassed and just so humiliated. And I was like, okay, I will go. So I went and had the drug test. Of course, it was negative, but I knew something was wrong because prior to that fall, I had had several falls all the time. I would hold things and just drop them. I would hold the glass and the glass would just fall.
So then you decide to, at some point later on.
So I decided that I should probably go to the doctor, because I can remember as far back, Corey may have been in the 3rd grade, my son, Corey, and we decided he was going to a play. He was going to see the Nutcracker, and I love the Nutcracker, and I wanted him to see it. It was his first time ever seeing it. I was so excited, and we were going out of the door to head to school to catch the bus to go to the theater to see the Nutcracker. But as I was coming out of the door, I fell flat on the porch. And I hurt myself so bad. I hurt my legs so bad because I just fell flat. And I didn't know why. It was like a linebacker had come behind me and knocked me down when I fell. So, but I was so determined for him to see the Nutcracker, even though I was in immense pain. I went ahead and went on the field trip as a chaperone so he could see the Nutcracker, and I wanted him to experience that, and I wanted to see him experience it. But that was one incident that I thought, I took rather seriously. And then, like I said, just progressed with, falling, dropping things. And I just thought, perhaps I should see a doctor about this. And so we had a couple of MRI. Well, no, we had one MRI. And when the results from that MRI came back, there were lesions in my brain and in my central nervous system. And I was diagnosed with MS. So I immediately started on a drug called Avonex. And those were injections. And fortunately, Avonex isn't one of the more frequent treatments. You only take an injection once a week. And when I started on Avonex in 2003, I would give myself the injections once a week. But you had to put the medicine in a little vial, and then you had to stick the needle in the vial, and then you had to fill the vial, then you had to inject yourself. So it was quite a chore. But eventually, as the years passed, they got an auto injector. So all you had to do was just put the medication in and turn your auto injector and just place the auto injector on your leg and hit the button. So that was really simple from doing the other things. So I really liked that. But after being on Avonex for a couple of years, I continued to decline. There were more lesions. So I stopped taking Avonex for a while because I was very, discouraged because there were more lesions. And I was like, oh my God, it's not helping.
Because technically they're just testing things because they don't have a real cure for the disease. They're just testing different medications, correct?
Well, there are several medications on the market that are for relapse and remitting. But what I came to realize was that I was never remitting. I would have a relapse or an exacerbation, but I really would never recover from it. Diagnosed.
You brought up him. What is that conversation like in raising your son and trying to manage both ends of the stick? And he's obviously noticing something's wrong with mom. What is that like growing up with you, him and him? When did you have that conversation?
It was very difficult having to sit him down and explain to him, mom's going to be a little different. I'm not going to be able to do certain things with you that I used to do. I'm going to be here for you, but I physically can't do the things with you that I used to do. And Corey is a very strong individual. I mean, he's helped me since probably the age of, maybe 8 or 9. So he's dealt with this a long time. He's seen me decline over the years, but he's been a very big help, a tremendous help to me. But it was very difficult for him to understand. I had to explain to him that it's not like ALS. I'm not going to die. People with MS live pretty much a good life expectancy. As long as you don't try to self-medicate, and turn to alcohol and turn to these other things that will hurt your body. As long as you don't do those things, you should pretty much have a good life expectancy. So I had to explain to him, mom's not getting ready to die. But mom is going to have some challenges, and it's going to be difficult. And you're going to have to, help me a lot. And he stepped right in and was a very big help. Very big help. And through the disease, I must say that my faith in the Lord and everything has happened, even though it's declined, it has happened in a timely basis. I was there for him through middle school and through high school. I could still drive. I could still go to school functions. I could still support him. Corey is a chess player, so we would travel to different chess events and everything. And so that I could do that. Mm-hmm. So I'm very thankful that the deterioration didn't occur until he was in college and was off in school. And so he was able to get through school, and I was able to be there for him through school. I could still drive him to school. I could still go to events. And that was very important for me that I was able to do that. I'm very thankful that I was able to do that. And one thing, and like I said, even though there's so much pain and your body just turns against you, but there's so much to be thankful for. I wake up every day and I feel like I've been given a second chance, and I'm so thankful.
Take all the time you need.
Just so thankful. And regardless of how hard the struggle is, I know that I can get through it, and you just have to be positive and keep a positive mindset and use all your energy to get through it. I mean, there's a tremendous amount of fatigue, and now my energy is just that, can I make it to the bathroom? Am I going to be able to get up off of the toilet seat? Can I get in the bathtub? It's very difficult. I had to cut off my hair because I no longer had the ability or the dexterity to use a curling iron or to comb it or to curl it. So I had to cut it off because it was too much of an effort to deal with. So the loss of my hair, that wasn't so much of an adjustment because, natural zen, having your natural hair. So that wasn't a big adjustment. But I felt like, you think that beauty is in hair. But you make an adjustment and you realize, and that's why I put color in it, because I still want it to be a little jazzy. Just because I have MS doesn't mean that I don't want the things that, most women desire, to be beautiful, to look good, to,
You're still pulling it off, by the way. You still got it. You still got it.
So, you still want to feel those things, and so you just make the best of what you have. You use what you have. You make that work for you. I can't stand to brush my teeth, so I have to brush my teeth in the bathtub sitting on a bath chair. I can't stand to take a shower anymore, so I have to sit in the chairs and brush my teeth. I have to sit in the chair to wash my hair. So you develop a system to work around, your disability. But those are just adjustments that you learn to make along the way.
You brought up religion, you brought up church, you brought up being able to go to church that has slowed down now.
Yes, church has slowed down. If my husband, he works a lot, so if he isn't available to take me to church, I really don't get to go. What I have found in the years with friends and acquaintances you learn that you really can't depend on anyone but yourself. If you look at my hands, my nails aren't done. I really need a manicure. But, of course, I don't drive. And the only way I could go to get a manicure is perhaps if I tell my husband ahead of time, and on his off day, he could take me. But all of my friends, they go to get their nails done. They go to get their hair done. But dealing with someone with a disability, it's a big deal. They would have to get my wheelchair. I would have to use my rollator once I got downstairs to get to the car. Then they would have to put the wheelchair in the car. And, you know, that's a lot to ask of a person. That's a lot of effort on their part, lifting a wheelchair, you know, handling me. So, I understand, you know, I understand why people aren't readily available to assist you, because it requires a lot of effort to do those things, you know. And, so I accept that and I work around it. But, you know, I don't get to go to church, you know. I'm on the prayer list at church. There is a member that calls and checks on me regularly, and I appreciate that. I really do. But no one ever says, would you like to go to church? Would you like for me to come get you? And like, for the reasons that I gave, I mean, I understand why. But I don't get to go to church. That's very so, but church is where your heart is. You know, it doesn't have to be a building. But what MS does at the progressive state, it isolates you. You know, the only interaction that I have now is my physical therapist. Because I don't get to go out, I can't drive. You know, I'm pretty much homebound. You know, and it really, really isolates you. And I was such a social person, such a people person. And, it just robs you so much.
Financially, what could you use right now? Like we said, there's no cure for the disease through medicine. But what could you use right now to help you out and make this process a little easier?
Well, because I have no torso strength, it's very difficult to get in the bed. I have to lift my legs and try to get them in. But once my legs are on the bed, I can't move over in the bed. So I'm on the edge. So it's very difficult to try and position myself and get over and over in the bed. So I thought about going to YouTube and researching how do paraplegics get in and out of the bed. And I was researching and I ran across a video, and there's a device that's been invented that give paraplegics mobility. And you strap this device on and it helps you to stand, and it's electronic, and you can go to your kitchen, you can go to the grocery store, and it gives you mobility.
Miss Brenda Clay, I just want to tell you, you're in my prayers. My friends are praying for you as well. And I just want to thank you for telling your story. Somebody needed that. Somebody somewhere is going to need to hear this and hear your story, and it's going to help somebody. And thank you for sitting down and taking the time out your day. and doing this interview. And hopefully this helps someone.
Yes, I hope so. I hope it uplifts and encourages someone to never give up and to always fight and to always be encouraged and to be thankful. Be thankful for the fact that you're still here. And regardless of what happens, there's so much to be thankful for. And so with being thankful and being determined and being just a warrior, you can make it through this disease, even though it's a tremendous burden and it's so difficult. But you can make it. You can make it. Just stay positive